We're not there as much, so we have more issues up there than we would have down here.
Sure, my thought behind that was just that, like, in the summertime and springtime, obviously, you know, people go on the road.
Yes.
The motorcycles are out, the Jeeps are out, and people are out doing things, and that's likely a drawing. I mean, if, for people to go there, maybe Russ have a lunch, go to the bathroom, get back on their bike and head out, something like that.
Yeah, no, and we do, the porta potty is very clean, they do a great job, they do keep it very clean, but yeah, it is something we have bounced around, I think. Again, until.
Well, then I thought too, on my way here, is there some way of getting, you know, watching for a grant for something like that?
Yeah, that's a possibility too. And one nice thing is we already have a bathroom design, a shower up there, but there's a cost associated and with designing that, we already have a bathroom design, so that is a possibility. So yeah, that is, something to keep an eye out for. It definitely would be nice to have year-long bathroom, it would. I did have the septic for the ones, both of them. And the one specifically is a new, well, more modern septic in the other bathroom. And so, with that one, we maybe need a well, and you could maybe convert that. It wouldn't be ADA compliant. We would have to do a lot of work to make it compliant. It does have there are two like levels of compliance. It does have a compliant bathroom, but it's access. It's the smaller compliant.
Anybody have, go ahead.
Water lines are all fixed.
Yeah, the water lines at Chabna are all, they're all good to go. They're not very deep. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, if you were to winterize that entire department, you would have to heat the well houses. And bury all the line. They're not, there are a couple of them are, 2, 3, 2, not even, foot and a half, and 18 inches.
Maybe drain.
So I drain each year, yeah. And I think we've had some problems each year, last few years with pipe breaking and an old pipe. I think that was an old steel pipe. The more recent one I'm having to, I might, having some concerns I had over time that some of that pipe is laid out flattened and water is drained as well in some areas, because I had a spot break and it was a split that's fitting that sounds that is, frozen. So I did fix that last year. So I mean, we may even try to blow that out this year, put a nozzle on it. So that'd be, make sure that would happen again.
You have another question? The monument. Is that state? Is there grants available for historic society?
So there are some, I did look into that, was it Fred, I think it was, what, have you looked into any grants for that? No, that's a great idea. I did look, there are some out there that weren't, necessarily available right now. It depends on, it's some of those are tough. You go to sites and some of those places haven't been updated in such a long time. But there are grants out there for that. So that's something I will look into, because that would save, if I already get, I would save money, because I already have money in my budget to restore about half of that, just the outside. So
Yeah, definitely worth.
look,
Right.
absolutely.
Would you approach NCSG?
I've already spoke with them. We're supposed to meet in October. I gotta get an email back to them, but I talked about 3 weeks ago. And they about some other grants that I think we're gonna be able to apply for those for various reasons, but not immediately at least. So I'm supposed to meet with them in October. So
Yeah. Very good. Thank you.
Anybody have questions? I'm gonna go back to Shabana, the pond, do we treat that or not treat that?
So I don't treat it for algae to speak of. So it does have a small period where it does get algae. It's not as bad as most ponds. It's a little worse now because taking away a lot of those crappy trees around the edge of the pond, allows people to get to the pond and actually use it. But it also, I know it's very shady over there, but it does get more sunlight down. And so one thing that discourages algal growth is cooler temperatures and shade. The water does run into those ponds constantly from the artesian wells like 55 degrees, so you don't get a lot. But I've had some problems. I don't think I'll treat it. A lot of times when you're looking into treating that stuff, I mean, that pond's not an issue. You reduce oxygen significantly when you treat ponds with copper. So and that that doesn't have water flowing into it, so then that's a bad, but we do have that constant flow. Then in late summer you get the lily pad that shade out and
Right.
and knock it back.
There was a lot in there.
Yeah. So I almost did this year. It's a really, once you start going down that path, you almost have to continue treating it. And you can also, I usually have to have the oxygen content checked in the pond because I don't want to have die off. You use too much and you can have all the oxygen, draw the fish off. And we just had a guy, give us fish for it. So, it is, and it is small enough that you can also do it manually. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. There are options. We can do some manual stuff. It was a little bit worse this year than it has.
What's been hot?
Yeah. So,
It's good.
yeah, it is, I thought.
Is the blue dye, is that the copper?
Yeah, it's
Copper nickel paint.
yeah. It's definitely.
She's.
Yeah, it kills I'm not sure exactly how it works, to be honest with you, but it somehow kills that algae. Spray right on it and around it and it does cover.
You know, you take all the in. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one problem with the food, when you got.
Put an aerator in.
Yeah, we don't, yeah. We don't, I mean, you get pretty good flow. But you get about 3 to 5 gallons a minute that constantly flow into. So that's good water, it's cool water, and that does aerate it, but that's not the same as having, stream flowing into it or an aerator. It's not.
So now I'm gonna come to here. What are our plans here? How are we reaching out to people? I mean, I gave you that article this
Yep.
morning, definitely look at. Another thing I thought about it, I mean, can a private person rent this and have
Yes.
a birthday party?
Yes, that's the whole thing.
Sure, people know they can do that.
Well, that would be next summer. It's gonna be available to rent in that way. I've already had people ask me about it. I've reached out to a few people that have had reservations, said, hey, we've got a spot in Capitol next you could use, but I think a lot of them it's just easier. They like you.
Why not till next year? I mean, is it not?
Just like it's basically ready, but we don't have the back, maybe that's all gonna get natural area. It's gonna be like it's gonna be plugged a little bit. I have some money in the ramp for natural area restoration, not very little bit to buy plugged, but we're gonna put a path and plugs in there and stuff. And then get the parking lot wasn't completely finished until now. We get this grass and stuff around. It's just next year will be the full. I mean, I am talked to some people if they want to use it. I've reached out to them. We can use it, but I'm not taking reservations till next year. But
What does it cost to rent this facility?
that's another thing I'm gonna look into. I think, what it is, it's $100. Well, it's $100 what we do for Shabbat, and that's the bigger event, it's 200. Yeah, that's a little bit different. So for this, I think what I would do is I would maybe even talk to Bob and have whomever he used for the cleaning company come out and say, what would it cost you? I mean, not a worst case scenario, because we would help out. I mean, if someone did something you couldn't even imagine in here, we would help clean. We would just be on top of them. But I figured what the rental cost should be, it's a refundable, so we do the other ones. The fee would be the cost of a clean. So I have, someone come in and say, it cost me this much, it would cost you this much to clean this building one time. That would be the fee. That way, if someone comes and just doesn't do anything, that fee covers the cleaning cost.
Planning because of the health issue.
Yeah.
After-
So,
We definitely need to do sanitized one thing. I mean, yeah, that'd be a thing to call just ask them what one time, so would they be interested?
yeah.
If not, have to reach out to someone else.
Yep,
with
yes.
this.
And also, if it does get used, if we eventually do get, like say, a natural program, or it does get used continuously or weekly by school or for whatever, then in that scenario, we might have to have some, we might have to hire someone to come out weekly to do. So if it were being used consistent.
Yeah.
Weekly,
Would be great to see it used.
yeah, I mean, it would,
Here,
yeah,
Arita,
Ken, is this open all the time or is it locked?
the bathrooms, so. For now, the bathrooms are open at all times. That's
This
what they-
building is open,
the building itself is closed off, just the bath.
oh, from the outside.
Yeah, so you can use the bathrooms from the outside, but the building itself is locked unless. someone needs it. So, we also, like, we have, for instance, I think I mentioned last meeting that Illinois Valley, Community College walk cross country team showed interest in using it. The building and the park, and that's growing. They've already ran out here. Looks like on October 11th, it doesn't look like they're gonna have their, the Illinois Valley Conference run. So that is where that junior college is gonna have their conference. So, that's really happening as we speak because I got to the last emails. He's from up there, so he's been out here, his name's Matt, and just looked at it, so they've had their kids out here running, so
And they run the trails,
they run the trails, yeah.
and the horses do the trails.
Yeah, the horses do the trails, so,
That works.
so for the high school.
I'm just curious.
For the high school, I'm sure what he's thinking, yeah, they go before the event, they have someone come out and actually the spray paint marks, the horse driving.
Or they go get shovel markets.
No, they spray paint mark them, so, yeah, it's, I would think. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad, so, I don't think it's a huge issue.
Yeah, and that.
Do we keep, the other thing on the do we shed? I know they're low, I can see that. Trained up, it's like rice for the horses, for the people on the
Yep.
horses, people running.
Yep. For the runners, basically every year before the high school thing, we do this for them, we just drag around with our players, and the same thing that's sticking out. That's every year, just, you know, just to keep that clean. Yeah, and then, for basically just anything else, yeah, he was like, yeah, let's keep it low, the high school and the same thing, I'm sure the college, they like it low. So, you know, this year we had the contractors, when I mowed it, I mowed it higher than the public contractor. So when we had them, we had this. But it's the way it's been, they're mowing the orange.
But yeah, when I get done, just send it out.
Lorena?
How about an open house or an announcement or a picture or something to get the word out that
Yeah.
we've done something, you know, the public's not usually so good to us, but let's us show them what we've done.
I thought next spring I could do something like that, have an open house.
But- I think I wanna wait till next spring.
Do this year? We'll do this fall.
How about, in tourism, Matt Klein does, videos for the different ad spots and that.
Tell me,
How about we think something on that line that basically, because it could be used for a tourism spot.
Yeah.
That basically we could use it elsewhere for inside the county.
And it would be good, you know, another thing, it's like in our job fair, but if you really look how it's set up, like that front waters again. This up, it's set up really well, so have a walkthrough for whatever you have, you know, people come in one side, you got, you know, displays of whatever, however it is, and they come up the other side, so. It is set up pretty good for something like that, too, so, or even, you know, when others it served.
education.
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, yeah, exactly, for the education aspect of it. Yeah, I think really with, you know, if we do have the, oh, what is it, the Earth Day out here now, guys. Last year, I was doing year.
That in the spring?
Yeah. So that has been bad weather, that is not maybe this, you know, what I mean, so.
Well, I agree with Lorena about maybe calling the newspaper and having them come out even and take a picture. But if you're, some people are planning things for next year, if they see it, they might, oh, let's use this next year. So, right.
Yeah, we can, and I can do something, you know, kind of like house as well, or relatively soon, really, in parking.
It's a big deal to have a regional cross-country meet. That would be interesting.
Yeah, yep, I'm gonna, yeah, I could put that in paper too, there you go.
That's big, bigger than just
Yeah. And market share.
Full house. There's
posting.
Lorena, go ahead.
So it's kind of blind here. Are we bringing over things that were in the barn to display or?
As far as like permanent, for education, permanent displays, we really, if we had education continuously. I think any type of permanent display would actually be in the bottom of that other building. Any type of displays we have in there can be rolled out. And as far as like decorations go, I do actually, we already have a, we have a, picture of it's really cool. It's free. When we order stuff from certain places, they give you stuff free. And then it was, like a beautiful picture of an owl mid-flight about this big. And that will go up on the wall. Yeah, I think, you know, stuff like that will do some decoration, just natural, you know, like that. That is a very pretty picture, but I may not be very good at that art.
Yeah.
Then we'll, excuse me, we'll get the women involved.
Yeah.
So your point,
That
a lot of comments on that visitor center that people are so shabby. We gotta be careful what we bring.
Can we discuss, excuse me?
We can look at it later, but. Oh, that's exactly. They're falling off, they're falling.
Yeah.
There are some vintage posters in, you know.
Yeah, there's some
Well, what do you intend to do with the other, with the
Well,
original barn?
that, I mean, if we had schools coming out and stuff like that permanently, that would, the bottom, that would probably be where the displays would go. You know, and if you end up having, you know, a lot of nature centers, if this ends up being, we end up being a full-time nature center, even part-time nature center. A lot of them even have, you know, live animal displays, rescued turtles or fish and things of that nature, along with all the other displays. That would all be in the other building. Because that building ain't gonna have, you know, part of the sidewalk out, you know, we have to finish some sidewalk here. Part of that is actually gonna be in between to that building to go to the map, so it's, you know, wide enough to be. And that bottom of that building is, you know, wide enough, it is compliant, you can get in there, you just take upstairs. So that, yeah, that would be all our displays, so.
The reason we didn't refurbish that is because of the ADA compliance.
Yeah. Yep.
Put an elevator in.
The door's gotta be wider, the bathroom's gotta be.
So Ken, is there security on this, on everything out here now, as far as this building and?
There's cameras, so we, it's, you know, it's just still gated, but yeah, there's cameras, we can just, they're not super special, I mean, I can probably get something really, you know, it's called, Uplink. And they're good cameras, but it's more of a, trail cam, but a really good system, it's all internet based, it doesn't, you know, not SD card, I can see the pictures, it sends to the internet, doesn't fill the cards up, we got solar panels, so they don't run out of battery and stuff like that. I can see them coming in, I can see them at the whole front of the park, and we could put one more up here. So, if anyone comes in, it's,
Don't talk about the locations.
oh yeah, well, I don't tell you where they're all at, but I can tell you, if you come into the park, we can see you come in, we can see you go out, so.
Yeah, I would make sure that we have everything covered. Back to the education, I wonder too, maybe there's a grant that's out for educational things to put up in here.
Oh, there might be, I could look into that too, I have a whole, I got a whole table.
You got a list of stuff to do, buddy. How about the last thing I'm gonna, oh wait, Tom, you had something, I'm sorry.
Just, I think of one of our future, or past conversations, we was talking about contacting ITBC, they had that article that had done interior murals at ITBC.
We did work with so.
Yeah, we wanted, yeah. I think, the,
An option.
perhaps, education,
Yeah.
features.
One last question,
They might.
the money that was in ARPA, is it gonna be all gone?
Yeah, when I get done with this, it'll be all gone, yeah.
Right, we're more than all gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
My only question is, that's a really nice pavilion out there and with the picnic tables, but how about a couple grills?
Oh, yeah, we could get, actually, I have,
Like a nice big one,
I could get a double.
because that's a good size.
Yeah, we do have a grill, it's the same size as the ones we have, but we could get a large one, we don't have any large ones, you know, it was at
Usually.
Allen Park, if you go down there, they've got.
I don't post and get them big gas powered.
So, but
No gas powered.
no, but I could get a bigger one to put in here. They're not, we do have.
I think that'd be a great idea.
And, yeah, and we're gonna have, like I said, we'll have sidewalk go into that too. I'm gonna put a couple more. And everything up and going around the buildings, well, I probably shouldn't have done this, or I probably should have done this, but we're gonna have sidewalk that'll connect all of this up, so it'll be 36 inches.
Fire extinguishers.
Yes, we have those. Don't worry.
Water.
No. Mhm.
Got the well back here.
Yeah, we got, yeah,
There's a well.
Two wells.
There's two here.
yeah, there's water too, we got two wells back
Makes it in an outside spigot.
there. One well over there.
You think you need water outside?
And we do.
Well, people put their fire out. Hopefully.
So they could do it take much. Yeah,
No, we didn't.
yeah, no, we could, because all the other ones have one, so I could run one, it wouldn't take much, the line is right out there, it wouldn't take much to split up. It's not either.
So the excavator out front, was for pulling the pit toilets.
Yeah, the pit toilet, they had a fork out here too, trying to get the building, but like I said. a nice roof on it, but.
That was just by that place that, right?
Yep, 5 and 5 and 4, both those are about
So in between there and here, is there any pit toilets left?
2, yep,
And we're gonna keep those.
you keep those, the horse parking lot has one, and then the, what's the area 3 has one, the wooded shelter in the back.
So. Yep, for now.
Yep, for now. I mean, I think
What's area 3?
it's, as you go out, it's kind of a wooded shelter in the back, so if you go,
Before you go down.
yeah, you'll see it, you go out and look to your right, and actually after, you go down the hill and up, and then it's, you'll see. It's, that one's a little weird because our water's on one side, I think the shelter, it was set up as originally on the left. And at one point, they put the shelter in the woods, I don't really. What they did that way, it's a little odd. That's.
Shelters,
How
floors, shelter floors and the hookups for the electricity.
Yep, yep, exactly. That's what
And the plan is.
The,
26?
the concrete, yeah, it would be 26, I have the, yeah, I don't have any, yeah, it would be 26, it would be early. I've already got the estimate, so it'd probably be spring 26, have them concrete and have them, the electric would probably be second and have them put in a, little thing, so the electric can run through. So I'd have to figure out what's best to do first, but yeah, they'll have, except I don't know. I can tell you there's one of them I probably will not do concrete in. That would be number 3. I might, so there's 2 of all of our shelters out here, 2 of them are less robust than the others. So, so I think we can, I think we can still do concrete on them, so it would really, makes a big difference, to be honest with you.
You don't have to do it all in 1 year.
Yeah, that's true too, absolutely, that one is right on the fence about.
And then budget.
Which is what I've been doing.
Rita?
the bathroom back for the horse people?
Yeah, that's not, I don't know if we put that in.
Can
our
we
plan.
do anything
I
to
mean-
make that a little more
I mean,
user friendly?
we could do a pit toilet back there of some sort, but yeah, that's been out of use since it was not, it is, if anyone knows, it is just toilet that sits over the ground with wood around it and a tarp over the front of it.
Oh, why?
So I.
Maybe you're back against a tree.
I think they had, at one point, if you go out there, you will see that they have several, 3 or 4 bars across tree. And I would imagine at some point they must have had 50, 60 horses out there and then they had really big events. And that would have been, and I think at some point they said, hey, let's put this up, which would have been the Horsemen's Association, I believe. And, hey, let's put this up so we don't have, it's pit toilets there, pit toilets here, what's the difference, I guess, but I would think now with these, they probably, come up and use these, it's not that far. But
There's the shelter for the horses. And water. It's
Mm.
not big.
no, there's no, there's no, I don't know that you could even if you did, the, where you
They
could put
don't
it up.
water the horses there.
No, I don't even think you could put a pump in up there, because it's not, it would be a hand pump, it would be deep, it would be,
I don't know.
260 to 400 feet is where they hit the water at. So that's pretty deep for a hand to put hands into.
Is that shelter in good shape out there?
So that's what I was gonna say. It was built, I don't know if it's local wood. I couldn't tell you if I'd have to look at it real close to see if it's cedar, but they used hewn wood, round logs, timbers from somewhere. And what has happened is they are all warped now. And so originally I was like, this is an odd design because the roof goes like this. And so then you really get to looking at it. I don't know that I think they're big timbers, so I don't think it's going to. But it's a little funny looking. I guess is the way I would put it. The squirrels eat the inside of it. It's still waterproof. It's still usable. We still clean the garbage out of the can out there. I may have the roof redone on it, but I'd have to have an estimate and see what they think of it.
Timber frameworks to keep the.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they chose to do it that way, and I don't think anyone predicted that those would warp like that, you know what I mean?
Be nice to keep you
But it's,
steady, so it was there.
yeah, it's sturdy, it's not, it's not going anywhere. So one day it doesn't leak, the roof's not in too bad a shape except from underneath, like I said, because the squirrels chew on the wood and right where they come together for some reason. I don't know why. But besides that, it's not too bad. I mean, the lumber's all good, nothing's rotten. It's just a little funny looking. But it's work.
How many horse people would you estimate come during a season?
Oh, boy.
I was every time I've been.
Do they
Yeah.
still have that big one in the fall?
That's tough. No, they have some big events that they don't let us know about. I mean, I have some pictures where they'll randomly be like 15 trailers out there. Yeah, where they're from or who is organizing it. I think it's not quite, like it was before with the clubs. I think they're all just kind of friends calling each other on Facebook is kind of how that works out. Well, I don't know. I couldn't put an estimate. I mean, we've had, hundreds. I mean, if not thousands, I would say. I mean, it's probably a lot of the same people. But yeah, I mean, at least hundreds, at least, it's more now than it has been. And I think last meeting, they asked that question, or it was 5 weeks ago, they asked that question. And I was kind of paying better attention because now with the playgrounds and the bathrooms, majority of the people don't come much further than that first couple of parking lots. So I was working on that a lot, about 3 weeks ago. I spent a lot of time paying attention to that. And there's a lot of people that do come up to that front. I get 2 to 3 cars at least a day sitting there for several hours, not just drive-throughs, that's in the front where the new playground is. So we are getting more people slowly, for sure. But yeah, it's not having, and then on the days when, like on the first, we had a ton of people out here. I had, just for example, in our bathroom on before the first on that Sunday.
What?
The memorial was at the Labor Day. Those bathrooms both had full toilet paper that night. I cleaned them because I knew there might be a lot of people, and then that next evening on the first day, it was gone. So I was only here in the morning. I was not here during the afternoon, and then I was here kind of in the evening. So we had a lot of people during the time I wasn't here that day. So we're getting more and more. Really.
Let's advertise and get more.
Yeah, well, I'll do something with this and like you said, and I'll call them. Let them know.
Anything else for Ken? If not, need a motion to pay the bill. Gary and Matt. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Anything out? or-
Yeah.
Question, Jim. These bathrooms tied to the ones outside.
Are the what?
These bathrooms here tied to the ones outside are they? These bathrooms.
These are the same, like the doors outside, of this building, up, same bathrooms. Yep,
Same bathroom.
yeah. So you can pass through. You can pass through the bathroom
Oh, yeah.
and go outside. And there's some stuff that's this.
Oh, so if there's no meeting or anybody in here, you lock
Yeah,
that.
but I get in here, I can get locked this way. It's actually hard to. Because you turn this way, once to push the door open, and you lock it,
And it's a key on the other
and
side.
if the key on the other side. So you cannot, after everyone's gone, I'll lock all the doors up, but I'll leave the 2 outside. So anyone that comes to the park can use the bathroom, but they can't access the inside. So
We have office space in.
there is, if you guys, there's a spot that can be used as an office. There's 2 storage. The one is designed with 2 exits to be used as an office if we want. So that is all based on us being, close, but that is based on Virginia, is much of our, whatever we need in this room. So if tables, chairs, whatever we need, if this can store everything, that can be our office. And that kind of is the plan. It was not originally planned, it's not planned to be an office, but it was designed as such that it could be used specifically for, it was more for like the, naturalist program, if we had some sort of teacher, that's why I was there. Yeah, motion lights. That's another thing, that motion light is over there. They do make things that extend it, so I have to get them. I don't want to check out, but they make them. So yeah, that's why I was.
So Kevin.
There is the refrigerator and the stove you see in there came from the house. I cleaned it. It was in there. It was been in that other building for a while. I cleaned it and I said, might as well just put it over here. We can't prepare food in there, but for us to work here, we can make food for ourselves. But it doesn't work. So I plugged it in. I've got 120 on both sides. I can tell you, Bob, I got 120 on both sides and I got 240, so I've got it up top and I've got it at the coil. I got no heat anywhere. The top doesn't work, the bottom doesn't work, so I think it's actually the and it clicks and everything. But you can measure it at the coil. You got 120 on each side or 240 between the two. And it
It'll work. Doesn't get warm.
doesn't get warm and the top doesn't get warm either. That would tell me the coil's bad, but the top doesn't get warm either. It's like it doesn't have amperage. It's the weirdest thing. If you're getting voltage, but you're not getting the, because you're getting the 240 volts and it's not heating up, so it's like you're not getting the amperage. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know. It's not super important, so I'll work on it when I have time.
You'll be around later for the tour?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around. If you guys can look at the building, I'll take you around.
You want me to get some ballpark price, how to clean this, so you
Yeah.
have a fair,
Yeah.
you could tell the people.
Absolutely.
I think, I'll tell you what, I think you should have the floors sealed.
Yeah, I know.
The guy that does the jobs, the waxing, does a real good job, protects his floor,
Okay.
because you got all that gravel and he'll just eat this thing up.
Yeah, I've learned all about that.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about these floors.
Yeah.
I've learned within the last 3 weeks that these
Yeah.
are, you gotta deep clean them, seal them, and then like wax them or
Yeah.
polish them. So although they're very porous,
Oh, yeah,
and I know that because I'm the one who cleaned them.
Yeah.
And so it was not easy.
I know.
So just us walking in, if you see when you leave, you can look down and see all those footprints that we've left. Those don't just sweep up or wipe up. You gotta scrub them out because they seep into these things.
Right.
I didn't know about that.
It's gotta be sealed.
Yeah, it's gotta be sealed. It'll look better. Yeah, we'll be able to clean it better. But yeah, I didn't,
Especially all that gravel off it, this is, it's off like.
Yeah. I've learned all that the hard way. I didn't know any of that stuff, so, and that's, chemicals are kind of expensive.
Plus, before you leave, is
You
there
say,
more
is
concrete going out?
the what?
Is there more concrete going in the parking lot?
Not in the parking lot, just for sidewalks. Just for sidewalks. Yep. Yep, yeah, it's weird as you see that parking, I guess maybe I should get back on camera. But as you see that parking pad, that is the compliant size of a handicap parking pad if you park it in this direction.
They gotta explain it.
But if you think about where most handicap parking spots are, they're in the black, fully concrete parking lots, not gravel park. Yeah, so that created a bit of an issue with this, so I got to extend it a little bit by putting sidewalks. So, which we need anyway, but the parking lot is the correct size, but it's, it's tough to get around if you were to fill the poles, so I have to be said. It's not a lot.
That answers my question.
Okay,
Thank you, Ken.
yep.
Well. Cleaning issues, we have nothing, we get no emails and stuff that not getting done. So, they did a little nice job downtown, trash the floors down, it's really. Well, that's how I was telling you, she had this floor sealed, so easy for us to take care of. The glass shop still didn't get the glass to do that project, and upstairs by the assessment office, we're still waiting for them to do the glass. This weekend, we have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. The guys are doing the brickwork on the central service side. And this weekend, they're working Saturday, and they're gonna be doing right over central services door where you bring in their supplies. So,
Picture of the jail.
we're gonna close that doors off Monday, because when you open the doors, the guys are gonna be right there working on the windows. We're also gonna have, the power shut off on the east side. There's gonna be no power on the east side. We're putting a brand new disconnect on there because they shut the power off to put up, those, fuse boxes that we put through the whole building. We went to put the power back on. Only one night went in out of 3. The other one was just dangling, so we had to get a stick that hit those babies dead. And that's not good. So we're gonna replace that, put a brand new one in there. And then the east side generator, since the power's down, we have a problem with the old, control panel for that generator on the east side. So it's a perfect timing, because he would have to shut the power off to put his new panel in there anyway. So the generator guy is gonna be there. Electrical guys are gonna be there, and the guys are gonna be doing the brickwork all in that little area. So it's gonna be pretty busy, but these are things you have to get done, because we can't keep on going like this, so. Okay, the masonry work, they found a section, right by central service when you go pay your bills. And there was one section there about, they said anywhere 400 to 500 bricks that were really loose. And they gave us a quote to take all the old bricks down clean them up, put them back in and anchor them where they're supposed to be anchored on the beams. They gave us a price. And I talked to Don and I says, well, and it's over 30, so. And my concern is when they start the next section, the older section, what happens if they have issues there too? Then we have to go back and get another bid. So I asked the guy if he could just hold on. Could you go one more section and see how that section is labored and how's it installed? Is it installed better than what you guys see now? Because I don't want to do this twice. So if they say, oh yeah, there's a section over here, then there's another section over here. How many times are you gonna go do this? And do you put it out for bid? That's another thing. These are questions that we're gonna have to figure out.
Did you talk with our attorney? Do we have to go for bid?
Did I talk to the attorney?
Is it an emergency? Who's going to declare the needs?
It's hard. It's,
That,
first of all,
We're gonna hit.
if they find sections like they did now, where the wall moves. You know how long it took with us to get these guys to work? They were supposed to start way back in May. But, you know, it's gonna be hard to get somebody to come in and say, okay, fix this wall, and the company's still here that showed us that there's a problem. I don't know, it's gonna be touchy. I don't know how you're gonna handle that. My next, I'm worried about if there's any more issues, because I like to put all the issues in one basket, and then if you have to bid it out, you're bidding out all the issues. But I think it's gonna be kind of hard to bid out another company when the company's here finding an issue. That's hard. And then they got the equipment, they're there, they can fix it. If you get someone that's gonna be maybe $8,000 cheaper, then you gotta wait. Then all of a sudden it snows. These are the things.
It's open now. It's
yeah, that's why
Yeah, then
the
they,
attorney and see if
gonna be
we can
exactly.
add it to the contract.
And then the bids received, and you have, how are you gonna absorb the cost?
I put a little extra money we had, and actually we had extra bricks when we had that little test area. And I was gonna take a little, like $10,000 extra we had, and I was gonna take it and fix all the outside wall. When you come into the government center, they're all broken up and stuff, and when you go pay your fines, there's just a couple walls on the outside walls. And they're gonna point them to put bricks there. I said, okay, forget that, I already get the big building taken care of. We'll do this another time. So. I could stay there.
The Pandora's box is open.
Where I is the budget. Do we absorb it in your budget?
In my budget,
No,
I don't know.
man says no.
And she watching me, let me tell you, she's like a mother hen kind of every day. Every time I knew something, she gets to start shaking the can. I got a leak. She's pretty good at that too. It's gonna be tight.
There's like the finance.
Well, yeah, you're better put it on finance. Well, I can't do it for Monday. It's too late.
No, I
But
can't.
Monday. Oh, you can do it today. I put it on for today, for finance for Monday.
That quote is like $42,000.
Yeah.
We got. Where? Where are you gonna get the money?
Yeah,
I owe you.
42,800. 42,800.
That's where the issue now.
Right now.
Before we crack something else open,
Yeah.
that's just to address it.
They left it just like it is.
So was this a problem during construction? Or is it
Original.
just,
Original.
Original, yeah. And if you go there and if you stand up there and you look outside the wall, you got the new bricks where you put all the new stuff. And then you can see our old bricks is sticking out maybe about 3 inches, almost 4. So that means that layer of brick is not tied into none of the beams and anything, but they can push it. They can push it, let's see. It's not hooked up like the rest of it.
Emergency.
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you have to have a. Have done, emergency, and we gotta
That's
have
why I said,
full board meeting.
yeah,
boy.
but finance has to be aware of it. Find money.
Yeah.
Oh, we cancel cancel one of the projects. You know, that.
So, yeah, wait, we're gonna all start, they're all starting tomorrow. Every time, if you don't want to do electric, fine. You get the stick and push it in when it goes bad.
Is it their contingency or the emergency?
Or yeah,
Fun.
contingency. I
Yeah,
don't know how much we spent on.
I don't think there was much spent out of that, but I can
Cause it was
look.
what, 250,000?
I think so, yeah.
Put in there?
Yeah, I can look when I get back to the office. No,
No, we heard.
I don't think we really spent any. Yeah, there's one of these is the.
geez.
So then my question is this, is do you people here make the decision that you're gonna have, this company is actually working on our building, fix everything? Or could you have other people in your committee say, oh, no, let's get a bid, it's over 30? Do you guys have to deal with that, or how's that work? Or you guys make the decision?
First off, we gotta talk. Somebody.
Oh, you guys talk to them. Oh, boy. This is a big ball.
Yeah. Have Pat come to finance so we can get this hammered out, whether we have to go out for bid or if we can add it to the contract.
Yeah.
We still.
It's us. Well, or he's spending it, one of the two.
No, yeah, general fund emergency. I don't have. So the approval would have to come from. Then. Or we can.
You should make a recommendation that it should be fixed.
It's essentially we don't.
Oh, yeah, well, no, not if you use it out of the emergency fund, out of finance.
But that's where it became from.
We need a motion here.
But we just
For
need
the finance.
an attorney to tell us, yes, you can hire this company to do it. Without going out for bid.
Yeah, but you're gonna wait till the rest of the building's there.
Well, he told me, I talked to him today about that, because he asked me, instead of saying, oh, who's the foreman? And he asked me, says, you guys decide about that wall, and I told him, I said, I talked to your boss, Ned. I said, I like to wait till you start opening up the other side, the other building, and you could tell me right there and then if it was done right. He says, that's a good idea, because I don't want to fix that, and then I have to come back again and say, hey, this side, they did the same thing. I says, well, why is this one wrong? What do you think? He says, well, they probably had premises. I says, oh, okay, then.
So in that situation.
Yeah.
It became apparent when they had bricks up above it in different places.
Yeah. Because
So
the
it
walls
won't
stick out.
find it out until they do that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I don't see why you would be able to do a laser across that wall and see what's blowed out.
Well, it's bold, I know that.
Mhm.
I mean, he's gonna have to move the bricks, and you wanna use the same bricks, because you'll see a big difference. And that's where your labor is, gotta take those bricks now, gotta clean them up. Bump them and put them back up, and anchor it.
Rob, are they? They have to fix the flaw to build up.
Yeah. They're gonna remove all the bricks.
They gotta stop production altogether. And have this flaw fixed to build up off of, correct?
Yeah, well, they did the top's good, the bottom.
Well, that's what.
Yeah,
They
the
can
top-
tie it, they can tie it.
The top is good, the bottom, or did the bottom layer of bricks, didn't anchor it. Did anchor the top, but it didn't anchor the bottom. They already did the top,
So when they take the bottom down,
they're
it's
gonna
not,
bring it back up.
the top will still be supported as a border. So they can keep moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
That's my question.
So do you want a motion to go to finance with this or?
There's
is
the
that-
lawyer, or whatever.
We gotta get that.
Yeah.
At the, ask him to come to the Monday meeting.
Okay. There's two different things being said. Are we waiting for them to finish the rest of the building, or are we gonna?
We need to ask the attorney, so we know what way we have to go.
Okay,
Cause if we have to go out for bid,
Well, I think the state attorney has to know if this happens to the other side of the building that they didn't touch yet, how you wanna handle it. Because this is 46,000 and we don't know what that one's gonna be if it's not done right. So how do you wanna play it? Should we just wait, but it could be done? And could this company do it, or we have to go out for bid? That's your problem. Who's gonna do it if they go out for bid? And how long do you have to wait?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
Because the
you
bids
gotta-
come in.
You gotta find out the whole building. If you're gonna take it off the bid, or if it's, or the current company is going to do it.
Right.
Because
Well, you
otherwise,
gotta
you're
open
just
up
gonna
the-
be going back for 42,000, maybe another 42,000 and stuff like that.
As the,
It's best to find out the whole.
so when they gonna open up the other side?
I think after they finish where the central services, in those areas right there, those little windows there. And then the next step, they're going back over there where the other courtroom is Judge Ryan. And that'd be done on a Saturday. And so we just keep moving on.
So we need to wait a couple of weeks, then.
Yeah, there's another meeting, 20, yeah, on the 22nd, on the 30th.
But it's getting to where.
No, but what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I'm saying, you got the month of October. November is iffy on whether you're gonna have flooded.
Yeah.
I can talk to Pat. I'll give him a lead. But we still got the 22nd or the 30th.
Well, you talk to him,
Got some make.
see what,
You know what? I was thinking if, I know you guys are all figuring out how to work this, but if. If we get the okay. And let them finish that section 500 bricks, then it means that side of the building's done. It's all done, from the back of the building all the way around. Then we're only worried about Judge Ryan's sections in that court area. Okay, and if something pops up there. Have you already talked to the lawyers and they say, well, if it's bad there too, I guess we have to fix it. And we use the same company, then they can keep going. I think the ball will roll a lot easier if you get the okay, fix it. Let's go to the next building. If something happens there, we know what we gotta do. We gotta do this. And you guys got to okay. If nothing happens.
makes sense to us, because the law, put it on it.
Yeah, and this way that building's done. It's fine.
And then if. If
yeah, I'd rather.
Pat said she can get do that,
There, ready to go in the weather shack.
Screw around it.
It's gonna cost more.
Well, not cost more, it's not gonna get done.
Yeah.
And it's open in time of winter.
Yeah, we want that. We want that.
What else we got?
Okay, oh, you ready? More? Yeah, just a little. Oh, the pictures I got is, what the jail's giving us.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that little piece of metal that you seen in that there cost me $375. Those are the blades that break up all that shit. And they break because the stuff that's going down in there is not like bio stuff, you know what I mean? It's like plastic, bed sheets, I don't know how they're doing this shit, but the blades are not made to break up that kind of stuff. Human body stuff, yeah, it takes good. And those pumps, they're like 4 feet big, high, and they're very, very heavy. Okay, and when you pull those things out, we got like an actual lift, you got like a crane picking that thing up, then you gotta put it out, put your gloves on. You gotta wash that baby down, get your hands there and open up the wheels there and get all that stuff unlined. And you see the sheet they pull out of a drain. How did they flush that stuff down the drain and no one sees it?
Well, not only no one sees it, but how did they get a sheet to replace?
I had a.
Explain,
Go ahead.
what happened to your sheet?
Yeah, where's your pillow? I can flush it down. And this is not normal. I know the prison, and they're probably bored. But it takes a lot of time, the guys and manpower to pull these things out. This is not an easy job. So. I've already bring it up to Mark and them, so I said they watch it. I said, okay, good. The problem is the labor I was doing this and the blade, like $375 for a little stainless steel blade. It's just unreal. So, all right. We went downtown yesterday. And we talked about the generator.
well, they denied, they have a problem with them. I didn't have, they had questions on the, occurrences that have been happening lately, which I figured 0 to 5 because it hasn't been as often as what it was back in like 23 and 24, something like that.
We did have big storms.
Well, I mean, I think Cameron has been doing some work in different areas that I think you might have improved that. But, they had questions about, backup batteries for the elevator,
They
burying it.
they wanted to bury it again.
Again, yeah.
They, as in the historic society or?
Yeah.
the Historic society?
Do they have money?
Do they what?
Do they have money to help?
And well, they're not interested in us.
Then they
And I tried to emphasize basically that, you know, about work schedule and I should have drawn them a picture of, you know, you got down there for order of protection. Now all of a sudden the building goes down. Now what does she do? Can it be done by hand or does it have to be done by the computers that are being shut down?
Child custody and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
What's our next step then?
I talked with Pat a little bit, well, we talked, and, I'll talk with Lauren, see what we. The only other,
Well, they
should be
it
outside.
has to go to the city though, doesn't it?
well, they'll want, a certificate of appropriateness, so we'll have to see where it goes. There. There's another idea I thought, and I don't know if I've talked to Bob, I've heard about it, is stone wall around, like like a mini jail, so to speak. With grading on top and everything to protect the unit. But something different than the wraparound that what we got recommended as far as looking like the corner of the building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought of it in my head, and I'm sure Kurt could. It'd be sort of like a mock-up what they did with the wraparound.
I thought that was already done.
Yeah, they got all that information, but I thought of this about a week or two ago. As far as an actual structure.
Oh,
That would be, instead of, you know, like
You gave them
chain link fence around it, there would be an actual structure that basically protects the unit and looks like part of the building.
It's removable, accessible for repair.
Yeah.
it keeps the public out.
Yeah,
You'd have to make, well, it'd be the same side with the fence going on. You'd have to
Yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it'd probably be 3 times, 4 times as much money, but.
Yeah, I'm sure, but they asked me, well, the cost, I said, well, this is a recent idea that I thought of, and I thought, well. What about that?
And actually, you don't have to have full stone, you can buy that sticky stone. But
Yeah.
But then they said,
No, it's only like
uh,
2 inches.
if you look at Channel 9 homes, our building down there. Right?
well,
So he says when Channel 9 does the weather, they show our building on the south side. And you don't want that big generator. But then, like last week, they put a big dumping tent on our property. And we had to pick up beer bottles, all kind of shit. But that's okay.
You serious?
But that's other place can be done.
I just thought when I got that yesterday, because I was called in regard to an event that October 14th or 15th, if they can use the south and the north lawn. So then that's.
They're worried about a generator.
Gonna go ahead with the permission to do so.
you're civilized though, so you'll know.
You know, that's what you that I, in my mind, try to be a good neighbor. And, you know, the structure that I look at, well, at first it was the wraparound, which basically looked like the corner of the building. And this here, if it was an actual structure, I think would be a far better choice. And in my mind, but see, I don't live in the city, so I can't say, but I know enough, but you get things built that people object to, and a year or two down the road, it's just a part of the landscape.
So that, either way, with the generator or no generator. You guys don't get those transformers out of there. You're gonna look, one of those things blow up, baby, you don't have to worry about the jail no more, and that won't be on my work ticket. They're ready.
I talked to Dan Klein, I talked to him the day before. They're still interested in it. They probably want to because it's gonna be a lot easier for them to service as well as have newer equipment. Instead of what's sitting downstairs.
Yeah, well, what time frame do they have? Have they budgeted for like next year?
So there was no talk about that. What I was talking to him about was the meeting there. And so
So
we have
does,
to see if they've actually budgeted that for next year or whatever the case may be. They may be waiting for us because they'd probably like to do it all.
So they're aware of it, because when they had that link. Improved. I sat down and said, what are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a exchange of hands. So it dropped, it dropped off and they didn't get a budget.
Oh, they're inside personnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Dan Klein is still there, but he finally got back.
There we
Dan Klein.
I'm not sure what his title is right offhand,
Yeah.
but I think he involved with service in this area, so to speak.
Okay.
I'd have to see if I had this card or.
It's gonna be next year, proposed budget.
Don, does the city then still want us to do this out and across Madison, and is that there?
No, that wasn't a conversation, but I did learn that the city bought that parking lot. Well, you told me, Gary, they bought that parking lot. But that building was torn down to the north and just slightly east of the courthouse. Can't remember the people, but the city.
Music stuff.
Yeah.
But you know,
To talk with them and say, well, you want to share the parking lot?
all this conversation we've had going back years, I just don't see it's amazing that the city is giving us what they feel is options to settle this, when we should be doing this, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we be taking a stand, or did we not take a stand and say, we're moving forward on this? Did we not vote on that in full board?
Yeah, we are. I think we're trying.
Well, we gotta go through certain steps.
Yeah.
before we can
Yeah.
go to court.
We're right back. Forward. I just don't feel like we're making any
We're close.
progress.
Well, there's a different strategy now.
Yeah.
I'm talking with Pat and figuring out how we're gonna go.
Close enough sitting there.
So burying it is not even in the discussion anymore.
No.
Well, we can talk with Kurt and the electrical engineer, but if your sump system fails and you get fairly good rainfall, you don't want it in there with the electrical equipment.
Plus, you're gonna have to have a fresh air intake like the jail. The jail's generator is in the basement. And if you go behind where maintenance garage is, you're gonna see something like about maybe 35 feet long, metal grate by 20 feet. Where it takes the fresh air, goes right into the generator.
Yeah, those big eyes.
So-
also.
The option is they put the generator, yeah, you're hiding the generator, but you're gonna have a big open grate for fresh air. I don't know what they're thinking of. It's not like a car with a little, muffler type filter.
But the other,
It's not gonna be used in the lawn,
No.
because in my mind, you don't want people walking on that grading, so there's gonna have to be fencing around it,
Well, they'll throw shit down there.
yeah, that's it. If there's any type of grading like that,
So Don, what is next? Is there another meeting in the setup, or?
I'm gonna be looking at, their application. Zoning application. Pat and I are gonna get together, we're gonna get all that information together. And figure out where we're going to from here.
Is the bottom line, we own that property,
Oh, yeah.
right? Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We represent 110,000 people.
Well, I mean, see, that's the question. It's not just about auto, it's about everybody who comes in for services or works in the building.
Right, yeah, that's why we're there. So is there comparables of cost? That we can
Cost of,
project
as far as,
site, off-site,
as far as the emergency generator.
yes.
Oh, this way,
If- if-
you know, we get a quote on the generator and the construction of the project, it sort of is what it is.
I understand.
I mean, you might get
I'd like to see the cost comparisons,
cost comparisons to what though?
the different project alternatives.
From site location to
Off-site.
delivery system.
I don't think you can do it off-site. Not unless we own the off-site. We're gonna spend it on something else.
If it was their piece of property, it would be an intergovernmental agreement for 99 years. That basically, in my mind, the way I look at it, because of what's going on, and has gone on,
Yeah,
we'll pay you $1 for the lease and we'll run the line. See, I mean, that.
and you're paying for the line. Yeah,
Well, see, that was the issue with Ameren. You know, we started talking about down the alley and stuff like that, and well, they said basically. This is what we're gonna pay for, you'll have to pay for the rest.
Well, you gotta upgrade the wires.
Wow.
Bigger the further.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
unacceptable.
Can I ask a question on the location, the footprint needed? Would the city, has it been considered that, I think you mentioned that they surrendering some parking spaces on that Clinton Street?
Yeah. Yeah, there was discussion of that, the parking spaces there, well, there was discussion on the. Offsite standby generator on a semi trailer.
Yeah.
I said. And then I forgot. The numbers, I mean, that was part of the issue, they had questions, and I didn't have. Specific answers that I had put down on paper, you know, how much time, I said, well. If power goes down, say it's 10 o'clock in the morning, power goes down. Now you've got to locate a CDL driver with a tractor to go hook up. So basically, my guess is you're
Logistically,
hour and a half.
2 hours just to get there.
Could be, yeah. Unless you've got to get all those parking spaces empty to pull that into.
Yeah.
Bumper trucks.
But Ed, I know that another issue, another spoke on the wheel of what can be done, but if the city would surrender those parking spaces or the judges, whomever is in control of those parking spaces assigned to the county, would that be enough? You mentioned 20 by 35.
Oh, probably.
And we could make it beautiful. The snow plows, they still have to deal with what we call bump out. They're all over the downtown area. And as they collect the snow on the heavy snowfalls, they just bring in a end loader or a loader and scoop it up and carry it away.
Yeah, I thought Bob, we had to get down there with the bobcat and clean out those parking spaces down there.
Yeah, because it is
Because
plowing.
the city that they plowed it
We'll stop.
and then we had to get down.
Well, we're done. I mean, we used to be done.
Is it,
But see, you still have that situation. You've only moved it over 15, 20 feet to the
Right.
east. That's all that accomplishes.
you're still referencing above the ground?
You still have that structure sitting there, but it's sitting in the parking space.
Yeah, but
And see, that's probably the reason they bought that lot, because they lost all those parking spaces on that street there. They bought that, I'm assuming they're gonna turn into parking spaces
Yeah.
up there.
because people are using it now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That plan due to the transformers though.
Nothing. with-
Well, the transformers, this is the way I see it. The city doesn't have an objection to the transformer. And the way I see it, Ameren is gonna put the transformers in the south lawn. That's just the way I see it. They're gonna do it as close as possible. There's other boxes south of the building there right now,
Mhm.
okay? And those, I think it maybe went from 3 to 2
Transformers,
units maybe, or something like that.
too big.
And so they're gonna go on the south lawn anyway. It was going to be part of the total makeup of the generator and transformer.
But they want to piggyback on if it goes on the lawn for economical reasons, right?
Well, my guess is when they look at it, they're putting them on the lawn. No matter what we do.
They're like the railroad, they have the power and they're going to use.
But they're not
Yeah.
doing anything.
No, part of it is because of the situation, the relationship between our situation and theirs.
I'm with
Because-
Bob. If it goes, there's no more courthouse.
Well, I've seen videos of stuff like that happen, yeah.
Those things are powerful when it comes.
It'll do damage on the southeast corner of the basement.
I reminded them when I was speaking with them in Peru
Mhm.
of the issue that we're hearing on the fourth floor of the safety of employees. Public, and that's when they told me about changing the names and departments and what.
But again. The physical structure, if it were railroad parking spaces on the east side of the building, isn't the buckle or the contact to the power system within the courthouse, isn't it right there?
It's right there on the.
Yeah, it's started, yeah. Theoretically
Right down the green.
adjacent with the
Ours would be tied into that corner and theirs would be tied into that
yeah,
corner as well.
okay. I apologize, I meant to go to that meeting yesterday. When you evaporated, I thought,
No.
oh, this is good. I should have followed.
No, well, I can't say that I was surprised, because basically unless you do the temporary that's pulled in by the semi or buried, they're really not interested.
Yeah.
You know, they ask, well, how many the occurrences lately, well, within the last year or two. So my guess is somewhere between